On Christmas, Denver gets the W 20-13. Welcome in Broncos country to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. We're going to talk a little bit about what I saw from tonight's game, what you need to know about what this means for the Denver Broncos, and ultimately how the Denver Broncos are going to look moving forward as we head into Week 18 against the Chargers, and then, of course, into the playoffs. I want to start by saying this. By no means was it a clean game from the Denver Broncos tonight. Objectively speaking, it looked stale. There didn't seem to be a ton of energy on offense. Defensively, they just kind of look like they're running around getting a bunch of cardio. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the pass rush right now. At times during the game, it disappears. Other times, it looks great. There's times when you see pressure mounting against opposing quarterbacks. But tonight, you went up against a third-string quarterback in Chris Oladokun. And he had 66 yards passing tonight. So defensively, you could look at the box score and say, the Broncos played excellent tonight, Moose. What are you talking about? And while there might be some truth to stifling a third-string quarterback, I think it was far from a dominant defensive performance, if that makes sense. It was good enough to get the job done. But the real story tonight was the Broncos just kind of came out flat-footed. It never really looked like they got that spark, that real big burst of energy. The run game never materialized. They dinked and dunked the ball down the field. I'll give all the credit in the world to the Chiefs' defense. They played great. I thought the Chiefs' defense came out and actually played with a lot of heart, a lot of fire, a lot of spunk. And the Broncos never really quite matched that energy. But, again, we'll talk about some individual performances. We'll break down everything that you need to know surrounding the game. Make sure, though, you hit subscribe to the channel. We are at 52,520. Got over 500 subs against the Chiefs tonight. That's an excellent amount. I appreciate everybody that pulled up and joined, whether you're a Broncos fan or not. Bird's eye view of this game. Kind of boring, but also kind of heart-stopping at the same time. I don't really know how to describe it because offensively speaking, the Broncos did not do nearly enough for me to be like, wow. But they did just enough to be like, okay. I mean, I thought the ending drive where Bo Nix rolls out, fires that dot into the back of the end zone to R.J. Harvey to score, that was probably the best moment of the game, offensively speaking. Also, Bo Nix's rushing touchdown. I didn't throw a great pick earlier on. Defensive back made a great play on it, but kind of an ill-advised throw from Bo against a blitz, rolling out to your left and trying to force something on sticky coverage. Look, those throws happen. I totally understand it, but I never really saw the opening of the playbook tonight from Sean Payton to allow Bo Nix to really stretch the field. It was a lot of screens. It was a lot of dump-offs, check-downs over the middle. In fact, we did get a super chat that said Bo Nix was check down Charlie tonight, and that was kind of what you saw. And I've been the one that's kind of been clamoring for Bo Nix to take more check downs, but you also have to balance the check downs with the throwing the ball over the middle of the field. There wasn't nearly enough long, drawn-out play actions tonight. You lost Luke Wattenberg. You had Alex Forsythe in at center, so maybe that was part of it. Just trying to get out of this short week and just head into Week 18 with a better game plan. Maybe that was the case. But you only threw for 175 yards. You averaged 4 yards a carry, and R.J. Harvey was not great in the run game tonight whatsoever. I mean, the dude averaged 3.1 yards a carry. Just wasn't good enough. He continues to be an in-space player. He finds the end zone, which is excellent. That's the most important thing. He can score, which I love. And he's an absolute dynamite threat in the passing game. Honestly, though, I thought Jaleel McLaughlin played better than him from a running perspective. When the ball was handed off to a running back, Jaleel McLaughlin played better than R.J. Harvey did tonight. It's just the way it panned out. And I would give him more the bulk of the carries. I would try to give him 10 or 11 carries per game. Against the Chargers, in the playoffs, no matter what, I would be giving him an increased role. Because ultimately, when you get into the playoffs, because that's what we're playing for now, guys. I mean, I know Week 18 has a lot of implications, especially because you still could technically lose the division. But we're playing for the playoffs now. That's the most important thing that we need to be aware of. Playoffs. Broncos are 13-3. I think Jaleel McLaughlin can give this team the extra spark. There was one player that gave the spark tonight. That was Jaleel. He ran angry. You saw it in his body language. You saw it in his performance. And speaking of performance, I want you to grade the Broncos' performance to me tonight. C? Minus? Somewhere around there. I mean, I can't go anything higher than that. Offensively or defensively, I thought it was just kind of a mid performance. You know what? That's probably the best way that I could describe this. Broncos were mid tonight. They were mid tonight. It's a C. It's an absolute C. Either way, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to talk a little bit about going up against the third-string quarterback and what this means for the Denver Broncos moving forward. Before I do that, got to tell you about my friends over at PrizePicks. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. With the holiday season officially coming to an end, bowl games, basketball matchups, and playoff pushes are all here, but there is one place where it remains to be good to be right, and that is on PrizePicks. They got a brand new feature alert. PrizePicks now has early payouts, so your lineup gets off to a hot start. You now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. On PrizePicks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the flex play, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses, or the power play, where you can get the most cash payout. My power play, by the way, is a little 3-pick power play. Did not hit. Whamp, whamp. So sad. GG's, brother. However, yours can look like this. Doesn't necessarily have to. Do me a favor, though. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It is good to be right. So let's go back really quick. One more time. Bird's eye view this. Okay? You know, I look at this and I go, against the third-string quarterback, you should have played better. You should have played better. Circumstances be damned, though. It's a short week. It's Christmas. The Broncos came off of a devastating injury to Luke Wattenberg. No Dre Greenlaw out there. It's a divisional game. It's at Arrowhead. There's a lot of things playing against you right now if you're the Denver Broncos. So to go out there, defy the odds, and win the game is something I've never been critical of this team. They are the best fourth-quarter team in the NFL. They are the best comeback team in the NFL. The best comeback quarterback in the NFL is Bo Chapman-Nix. But this guy is from South Dakota, the University of. He's barely an NFL quarterback. And tonight, he proved that they were trying to take the ball out of his hands as much as possible. They did not want him throwing, as evidenced by his 66 yards passing. I also thought Travis Kelce showed that his better days are behind him. I wouldn't be surprised if he retired this year. He looks a step slower than he should. He just kind of looks like he's done. That's kind of what it looks like to him right now. But this is not the Chiefs channel, so we're not going to focus too much on the Chiefs here. Here's what I do know. If you're a Denver Broncos fan and you're concerned right now, I get it. If you're a Denver Broncos fan who's optimistic right now, I get it. Because right now, Denver seems to be in a zone where you're coming off of some really good offensive play the last 4 games, right? Especially against the Green Bay Packers. The defense has not been quite the same since the bye week. Nick Bonito said that. So the defense is kind of struggling right now. Offense struggled a little bit tonight. But what did I say to you guys? When the Broncos click, when they fire on all cylinders, there's not a team in this league that is better than them. Patriots included, Jags included, Steelers, Chargers, Bills, Texans included. If the Broncos are playing on all cylinders, they are the best team in the NFL, period. And it's not a debate. So we can go back and forth about what the state of the team is right now, but clearly they're not firing on every single cylinder. Sean Payton, I just checked my Twitter right before I started filming this, and Payton said, we've got to figure out a way to bring all 3 phases together. And that's the truth. So you might not hear a ton of vitriol in my voice tonight. You might not hear a ton of resentment or a ton of panic or a ton of worry. And I'm not. I recognize the circumstances of tonight. I do. I also understand that you averaged 4.3 yards a play. You had 5 penalties. The refs did you no favors, but you dominated time of possession. You outgained them in yards. You were better on third down. There was a lot of areas that the Broncos succeeded in tonight. So take it with a grain of salt. Move on. Get that extra rest on the long bye and go into Week 18 with a clear head and a clear focus on winning this football game, because it all comes down to this coming Sunday. Not this coming Sunday, but the next one. You get my point. If the Texans win over the Chargers, the Broncos clinch the AFC West. If the Chargers win, it's a battle for the division because they currently have a 1-0 lead on you. If you're a true Broncos fan and you made it to the very end of the video, like it. Hit that thumbs up icon for me. It's coming down to the wire, Broncos country. I'm going to be here every step of the way with you, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And as always, a little mile high salute to you guys. Be cool.